Today, I would like to show you ICS RF Allocation solution. Let's look at the application. ICS RF Allocations has simple and user-friendly interface. In the main window, we have work area in the center of this window. We have some options and we have big menu. In the main, we have three main tabs. First one is Frequency Allocation Table. Then we have radio interference regulations options. And the third one is Documents tab, where we can edit, we can add new documents. The ICS RF Allocation Editor is based on the databases. With the basic version of this application, we can connect to Oracle, PostgreSQL, and Firebird. Each connection which is created, we can save and use it once again. Let's choose Firebird. I have created a connection, then I can log in to the application. My database is not empty because data has been imported into it previously. We can use import option, data from ICS Manager database, or import data from ITU Article 5 database. Also, we can import EFIS vector. All databases to be imported must have configured connections. To do this, we have to go to the databases and configure database links. Here we can add another connections. Returning to the main window, we can see the data in the Frequency Allocation Table. This is editor where we have vectors and rows. Rows are frequencies. Each vector is another plan, frequency allocation plan. We can create a plan for Europe, for radio regulations, our own vector. We can move by frequencies, by a single frequency, like this one, or frequency range. We can display all vectors which we have, or only selected ones. We can also add presets to simplify table views. Then we have to refresh. Each vector has the status. It can be active or obsolete, and we can create new decorated vector with this option. For now, we can display vectors as we want. For example, we can choose name of the vector and also status of this vector. For example, we can display all versions of created vectors. Here we have national allocation, obsolete, active version, and decorated one. Only in decorated vector we can add changes. We can add new entry, we can delete entry, we can copy selected cell, we can paste content from clipboard, we can split cell into two cells, and we can delete selected cell. Each entry has his own special type. If we add new one, then we can show content editor and then change entry type. It can be iTunes service, it can be flat, it can be footnote, link, document link, orphan, and separator. Each entry can be flagged with the selected national flag. We can add comment to this entry, we can change parameters, and also we can select information which comes from the dictionary. If we change entry type, we have another special option to choose. Let's type some data. It can be IT service, it can be new item, it can be primary IT service, and for example, aeronautical mobile. Then we can close it, and we can see the entry in the table. And now we can save our changes. You can see where the changes are made, and then save it. Then we can see that the status of this cell is changed, but it's still a decorated version. If we want to replace the current active version with the new changes, we have to commit decorated version with this button. Then the previous one will be obsolete and current active version is here. Now we can generate the current state of displayed part of the frequency allocation table. The generated document can include the decorated version or can be created as committed. We can save it or print. We can also generate the Excel report. In the second tab, we have Radio Interface Regulations editor. There we can find rears which are divided into headers, and each header has its own bodies. We can display saved entries, we can change it, or we can create new header, or we can add another bodies to existing header. If we open editor of body, then we can select radio communication service from dictionary. We can select application. We can add frequency band, channeling, modulation, direction, separation, transmit power, power density, channel access to the communication rules, authorization regime, additional essential requirements, frequency planning assumptions, planned changes, and description. We can open more tabs and they will be displayed here. Now we can back to the main rear window and display history of selected entry. We can also display header graph. It means header history and header all bodies which are linked to the header. With rears, we can also create reports like rear body or rear header. The third tab contains the document editor. Documents can be loaded from the file or can be created by this application. We can edit existing documents or create new document. Documents has also his statuses. It can be obsolete, can be active or decorated. If we choose this button, we can display document and then edit entries inside. We can delete, we can add new one, we can also add new part of this document. It can be text, table, section, and we can cancel all part. Each part of document can be marked with anchors that can be referenced directly from the frequency allocation table. Now it's worth showing the settings window. It's opened as a new tab. We can change, add, and delete objects inside frequency allocation table. We can add groups, we can add version of vectors, we can change the type of entry, civilian and military, we can use footnotes, we can import footnotes, we can add manually a new item, we can delete items, we can change radio communication applications, we can load it from the database, from file, for example. We can save some presets. We can change flags. We can change, modify, and add ITU services. We can modify radio interface regulations data. We can do many settings of styles of our reports. We can also define rules which are needed for publishing frequency allocation tables, rings, and documents on the website. To publish data on the website, we need to go to the website tab and publish data. Find endpoints and select delayed publishing. Having the frequency allocation table, documents, dictionaries, and other settings, we can generate the so-called full-fat report. To be able to execute them, we must define the report definition. It means indicate which saved elements it should consist of. Here we can add new report definition and select which part of data which we have inside our application has to be added to the report. After that, we can go to the window of full-fat report generator. We can select presets. It means we can select which one vector can be generated inside our frequency allocation table in the report. Then we can select output directory, report definition, endpoints. If we have links, they can be indicated as the intranet or internet endpoints. We can select vectors, we can select also documents, we can select range of frequency in frequency allocation table, we can choose footnotes, and then we can select restriction. After all, we can choose type of the resulting file. It can be doc in Word, HTML, and XLS. Finally, we can generate reports. We can see prepared cover, contents. We can see introduction, it's a part of the document. And we can see also frequency allocation type plan with selected vectors with links, also links to the website. Also, we have another annexes, another tables, and footnotes. ICS RF Allocations has developed a website of the Frequency Plan Managing Authority. On this website, we can display all data which are published directly from desktop ICS RF Allocations. We can display here tables, frequency allocation table, arrears, display them, and documents. Some information can be displayed only to logged in users. The rest can be publicly available.